Hey Jamie,
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm all right. I was
Hanging
hoping
in
I
there?
could. What's up?
I said hanging in there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all we can
Um,
do
how's
sometimes.
fantasy hockey doing?
It's this season's rough for me. I had a bad draft, so I'm trying to scramble. I made a couple trades that helped, but I currently am outside of the playoffs, so that we'll see.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, it's been a rough fantasy year overall. Football did not go well for me this year.
No,
No, I had
I
a
never do good at football, but
Yeah, I had a one-win team and a two-win team, and that's normally I'm at least middle of the pack. Sometimes, if I get myself in the playoffs, I usually have a really good team, but then they blow it the first week, so all my hope is up. So
yeah,
I don't expect a lot out of fantasy.
yeah. Who's the other guy that always wins? Is it Matt? Matt
Ryan Schuler has won.
Ryan? Guy that I was in the playoffs with, like I was
I
always
want to say that
winning
was
our league,
Ryan.
and then okay, maybe. How's he
Yeah,
doing?
he's doing all right. I think he's in the playoffs as of right now, but he's not a top team.
Mm,
So we do what we can. I mean, I've found the last year, so I've actually lost some knowledge in hockey because this year has shown me that I drafted the players I thought were going to be good and they are not anymore.
yeah, I definitely feel that way.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I've
Well,
not
and
quite.
anytime I do it, all the Colorado people are always, drafted right away. And so then it's like, all right, well now I really got to think of who I want to get. But
Yeah.
well, it might just be you and I. We'll give it a couple
I
more
think
minutes.
I see Chris. Chris, is this Chris Otter Pilot? Is that you?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it's basically something that comes into the meetings and it'll record and create like a summary and everything. So if someone
Oh,
asks
okay.
for like bits or something, I can email that over.
Cool. Well, I was kind of hoping it would just be me and you because I actually have questions specifically on my website and
Okay.
editing it that I tried to
Yeah.
get onto today and I couldn't get it to um, work.
Well, we can
Uh,
definitely dive into that, I think. Hey, Lyndon.
Hey
Um,
Chris, how you doing?
doing well. How are you?
Good, good.
Good. Yeah, Jamie, we can dive into that. I'll run through because today I was going to go over designs and campaigns. So I'll do that for a little bit, but then I'm sure we'll have time. I think this today is going to be kind of short and sweet. I didn't have a lot prepared this time. We were moving all weekend and have been still trying to unpack and everything. So
oh, did you guys buy a place for
we
you?
did. We did. Yes.
Yay. Congrats. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you
Where are
very
you
much.
at?
So we're in it's a little development called Murphy Creek, but it's east of Aurora. It's considered
Okay.
Aurora, but it's not Aurora. At least not in the heart of Aurora. But it's
Okay.
it's nice. We got a nice little townhome, 3 bed, 2 bath, 1,700 square feet. So both the kids have their own rooms now. Donnie's loving running around. I mean, there's room to run around, so it's great.
Yay. Good for you guys.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a long time coming for sure.
That's good.
So but it was funny, taking Donnie to showings. We'd go through houses and stuff, and he doesn't know what he's looking for. So we walk in, and some of them he'd be like, "Oh, Dad, I love this house. It has video games," and it's like, "Oh, no, don't worry, buddy. That's not going to be there." Or then, the one we're in now, when we first showed him, he was like, "I was like, what do you think of your room, Donnie? This would be it." And he's like, there's no bed."
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Yeah, like what's going on? This isn't a cool room. So.
Awesome.
Sweet. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Again, stop me if I go too fast here. I'm just going to run through a couple of the designs, creating them, some of the nuances. Lyndon, I don't know if you've been on this one before, but yeah, let me know if you have any questions that come up. Don't hesitate to interrupt me, yell at me, and we'll go from there. And then Jamie, we'll definitely dive into the website stuff too at the end
Perfect.
here. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. Well, first off, let me get to this one. All right, can everybody see the command? Or can you two see the command? I say it like there's a bunch of people on.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so obviously designs, campaigns, they're gonna go pretty hand in hand. Now, when it comes to designs, creating them, there are a couple nuances that I wanted to show. So the standard design, so when you hit create design here, you have the choice between email, social, print, and video. I'm not going to lie, I have never used video, so I do not know what that looks like. My assumption is you're able to put a video in and then maybe create some sort of video design for like an email or something. But if that's something you want to dive into, let me know and I can do a little research on it. Print's going to be like your postcards, open house flyers. Social, obviously, is social media designs. And then email, those are going to look a lot different than any of these. So just keep that in mind. But you do want to select the right one. One of the biggest things I see is agents will go in and create like an open house flyer or a social media design, and then they want to use it for an email. But if you create one of these designs and then you try to use it for an email campaign, you're not going to be able to find the design. You have to use an email template design or an email design template in order to do the email campaigns. But what I wanted to show here, so print or social, you're probably going to get pretty much the same options as far as the designs. But when we click that, you'll notice there will be subcategories here. And that's what you also want to pay attention to. So obviously, if you're creating a postcard, you don't want to select a flyer or select flyers up here. So we'll give it a second here. All right, so we social square or flyers, depending what it is you want to do. Now these are auto create. So if you're under auto create, when you do that, it's going to ask you to select a listing and it's going to pull it straight from the KWLS. So keep that in mind. If you have your own listing and you want to just create a quick social media post, you could come in here and you could hit auto. It's going to pull over, or it's going to ask you to pull over a listing. And let's see if I can find one. And you'll go ahead and find that listing that it is. You'll hit select and then you'll hit continue. It'll ask about the information. So you're just going to confirm that all this information is correct. Again, this pulls straight from the KWLS, which pulls from the MLS. So it should be correct. But if it's not, this is your chance to change it here. You can add another image if you'd like. When you click that, it's going to give you all the images that came from the MLS. And then you're going to hit generate design. And this is going to pull us right into the design studio with that generated design. And it's going to have all the pre-selected information filled out, ready to go. And again, this I just randomly clicked coming soon. So obviously you want to pay attention if it's not a coming soon one. Now, if you do want to change some of the writing, what you can do is, this is one of the big things. It's very common. You want to just double click in here to try to change it. That'll drive you nuts and it'll make you want to throw your computer across the room. So just click on the text here, come over to this shaded box. Sometimes it'll be here, sometimes it'll be over on the right-hand side, but it's this typewriter box and you'll click that and that'll open up the text box so that you can change it. Maybe it's just sold or whatever it is you're trying to create. Make sure you hit the save changes button here. Now the DBA logo does not automatically change, so that's one that you would have to change as well. Sometimes these will be really finicky and it won't let you click on it. So like right now, if I tried to click, it's just going to click the background. So just move your cursor slowly over, and when you get the 4 directional arrows there, you'll be able to click on it from there. So just keep that in mind. Once you click on that, if you want to swap that out, and then you have your logos and your assets, then you would just come over here and you could hover over. Well, you should be able to hover over. Sorry, the auto create might be a little different. Normally there would be rotating circles that you could use to, so you would look for this sign here, and this sign would just automatically swap that picture out. So you don't have to reformat the pictures or anything. And then again, if you needed to change this information, you just come here, click the typewriter button. So those are the couple nuances in these designs. That's going to be the same for the social as well, and the print. Both of those are this design studio looks the same for both of those. When you're happy with it, you can come up here and save it as a different name, whatever it is that you want to save it as. You can also download up here You can order prints straight through command. I've never done it, but I know agents who have, and it works. It takes a little more time though. So if you're trying to get something quick, this would not be the one you would want to use. And then once you're happy, you can hit done.
Can I just add a little caveat to that just for
Yes.
helping? When you guys save, like, and name your whatever, like, don't name it coming soon or just sold, because you're never gonna find it, because you're gonna end up with like 20 of them. I put the address of the home in there
Yes.
and save it
Yes.
as the address of the home.
That's a great point. So thank you, Jamie, because I mean, and you'll look at some of the ones I've created. Obviously this one, who knows what the heck that is, and same with this 06FSTF. But like Jamie's talking about, make sure you use the address for that listing, 8679 Garrison, and then PC for me is postcard. So I know that this is my Garrison postcard template. Great point there. So the other one I wanted to mention is the email designs. So when you're clicking in, or when you're making an email design, this is going to look completely different. And there are still a couple little nuances here. So now there's this template library. You can create a new template, start from scratch, or you can go and find one of these. You'll notice there's going to be, if you hit load more, there's holiday ones, there's newsletters, there's protect your credit, virtual home tours, tax day, sell ready. I mean, there's a bunch of different options for templates here. But say we wanted to use this classic healthy home. We're going to hit next. And then this pulls us into the email design creator. So again, this is a little bit different. These are your options for content that you can throw in there. So if you wanted to add an additional text box, you simply just click it and drag it over, and notice the green bar, that's where it's going to go. So you're trying to decide where you want to put it. So if you wanted it under this picture, then we would click there, and then that text will appear right there. Again, if we want to edit this text, same thing. Don't double click. You'll never get anywhere. Well, actually, that was cool. That's a new feature. So I'm learning things too, but you used to not want to double click, but if you double click these, it'll pull it over on the right-hand side so you can edit it. The other piece around that is if you just click it once, you can hit the pencil button and it'll pull it over on the right-hand side as well. With this, one of the biggest things I see agents that they don't do is once they make the changes, they try to go do something else or change something else. Always make sure you hit this done button. That is going to be your save button for any changes you make in this design area. Picture wise, if you need to replace this image, you would click on the image. You might even be able to double click. Yep, double click it. And then you would come over here and hit replace. And you can replace that with your images that you might already have, any listing images if you wanted to use the KWLS, or you can add an image if you had your own image, you would just pull it in from your computer. Once you change that, so let's see. So notice how this picture is a little bit longer. What? Huh. There's your headshot, Jamie.
I know, I saw that. I think it's probably from when we did that open house together.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, that's actually kind of just a great point. So notice this one's a lot taller than the other one is. The other one's longer. So if we were swapping it out and we hit replace and then we hit done, it's going to look all stretched like that. So to change that, to make it look better, you would go back into the picture and then down below we have the width and the height. Obviously that last one was longer rather than taller. So maybe we just want to swap these. So we'll do 232 by 520. And we'll hit done. And so that was too tall. So it's a little bit of playing around with it there.
I think, can you click on that image on the thing too and adjust it there? Like, I mean, it's like pulling
Yes, you can change like the size of the image.
but does it change like?
Oh. This is the undo button if you ever run into that. Let's see. Yeah, you can change it. I think that might be the way around it too. Yeah, Jamie. You can drag and pull it.
Yeah.
So, but just keep that in mind. Again, you want to make sure that you do all your changes on the right-hand side for the most part, other than it looks like you can stretch the picture there. Now, when you're building these out, and I'll get rid of the picture of Jamie, sorry for highlighting you an example. So when you're happy with it, you think it's ready to go, notice down here, actually, this is one that I see a lot. With these email templates, this is automatically coming from a marketing profile, and these are using merge fields. So they're going to pull it like agent first name. That's going to come from my first name and my marketing profile. Here, this website one, it always looks like this. And if I hit preview, that's how you can kind of see your email and see your changes. But you'll notice it'll put the merge fields in except for website. That's because for some reason on these templates, the website merge field is not actually a merge field. So you can come in here, you can hit the edit button, and then you go ahead and delete that. If you want to still have your website showing on there, you can just select from the list of merge fields here in the top right. And we would go to agent website and hit done. Then if we hit the preview, ideally, yep, it throws in the website right there now. So again, it's just a little kind of adjustments here and there. But ultimately that's pretty much it. If you don't want something, if you don't want this download my app button, you can hit the trash can to delete it. With these, you do always need a legal header or footer. So keep this on here to save yourself time and sanity. Otherwise, if you delete it, it's just going to be a pain in the butt trying to get around that. Now you can always add an additional legal header, legal footer if you want, but that's what this is down here is the legal footer. So any questions on that? Oh, the last piece of it, you can also send a test email. So if I wanted to send a test email to myself to just see what it looks like, we can go ahead and do that. One thing to keep in mind here, if we had like a hey contact first name as a merge field at the top, when you send that test email, it's not actually going to show up or it's not going to fill in that merge field. The reason why is because it's just a test email and you're sending it to a random email address, not to an actual contact. So it would say dear contact first name here still on this test email, but I promise you, as long as you use the merge field, is when you send it off, it will automatically fill in that contact first name. Again, you can rename it up here in the top left, and then always make sure you hit save. Whenever you hit this X, though, it'll also prompt you to either save changes as well. All right, so that's it. I mean, designs are pretty straightforward. Now there's the whole expansive library there. Outside of that, obviously they go hand in hand with campaigns here. So to do those campaigns, say we created that social post for that coming soon or just sold that I was doing earlier. If we wanted to just release that on our social media real quick, you could come over here and click on social post. Now you do have to connect your Facebook account, your business account. So keep that in mind. That would be done through the settings over here. But say I wanted to get that design posted tomorrow, I could just come over here and hit create a social post. I could also just hit create campaign and social post like that. When I click that, it's going to open up to this social post campaign. It's going to tell you what account you're posting it from. So if you have multiple, you can change that. Maybe I want to post it on both Facebook and Instagram. So you can actually do multiple accounts as well. Then you would go ahead and put in your content here. If you've already created a design, you can hit the add media, and then it'll ask you to browse files or browse design. So you would hit browse design. And then we would select the one that we created. And I've been running into issues. I forgot I might need to submit a support ticket here because this has not been working for me. So usually you'll get that select design was not ready to use. And then if you use it, do it again, though, ideally it should work for you. Although, like I said, mine has not been. So we'll see here. Yeah, I think I'm going to get the same error. So unfortunately, I can't show you the uploading process there. I still have to submit a support ticket for that. But let's go see if we can use one of these other ones. Might be getting the same thing. All right, well, ultimately, if that was working properly for you, and hopefully it is, then you would pull in your design. You'd see the design pull up right over here on the right-hand side, and you're pretty much ready to go. The last pieces of it is the ownership statement and the DBA logo. Now, the design that I created, it already had our DBA logo on it for Keller Williams Avenues, and then the ownership statement, most of the time, our logos will have that ownership statement, but if it doesn't, you can simply just hit this, and then that's coming from your marketing profile. which most people have each office is independently owned and operated for their ownership statement. Then you can come down here and you can either schedule a post or you can publish immediately. If you publish immediately, it's going to go straight out to your Facebook business page right when you hit publish post. Otherwise, if you schedule it, you do have the ability to schedule, I believe, months down the road. I don't know if there's necessarily a limit. Oh, there is 1 year. So you can go up to 1 year. And then you choose a day and then you choose a time. Keep in mind, they recommend posting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings typically are the best times to post for the most engagement. Again, that's just from data and analytics that they've done over the years. So, all right. So once you're happy with it, you can hit publish post or you can save draft. But ultimately, that's creating the social post. So it's pretty straightforward. Any questions on that? Okay. Now, the email that we created, if we wanted to do an email campaign, we would hit create campaign and you would go to email. This is the name for you to know. So again, like Jamie mentioned, for something like this, I mean, if I was sending an email for a market update, maybe I would say something like February 2024 market update. Nobody else will see this title. This is just for you. Gold doesn't necessarily matter as much either. These were I'd say more important for the older paid ads, but for the email campaigns, it doesn't really matter. I typically just select other, but again, you could select whatever you want there. And then command email, always well, you don't necessarily have to try to use that. If you have MailChimp, then you can use that as well. We do have the ability to link that. But with command email, we do have 5,000 emails a month with it, so for free. So it's definitely the cheaper route. So then we would hit create campaign. And it's going to pull us into this email campaign here. So it's going to ask you what account you're using. Obviously, this is the account, my KW account. Recipient list. This is one thing that you'll either want to have created beforehand, and I'll show you where to do that in a second, or you can create it here. You can hit create list if you needed to create one, and it would go through all of your contacts. Now the piece here, notice if I scroll down, well, actually I think because I run everything through Voorhees Properties, so I'm not going to have more than that. But make sure you scroll all the way to the bottom, because chances are if you have more than like 50 contacts, it's going to say load more, and you'll have to load more of your contacts. Otherwise, if you try to hit the select all and you don't have all your contacts loaded, it's not going to select all of your contacts. So just keep that in mind. Now you can also build out different email lists based around different tags. So that's another cool thing here. But contact list, that's the list name for you. And then you would hit select all and confirm. And then I have that list selected. Now, if that's not the list I want to use, and maybe I already have another one created, I could come over here and select which list that might be, and I would select all those people. Now, this is where we get to the piece of the email that who you're sending it to will actually see. So this is sent from me, reply to email address of C. Voorhees. The subject line here is the one that would be going across on the email. So obviously, maybe I would say something like, here's your February 2024 market update. And then we would hit select design. We would find that again. So notice these are only the email template designs. You're not going to find any of those social media or print designs. So make sure when you want to do an email campaign, you use an email design. So then we would select the one we want to use. It's going to pull us into the email. So this is your last chance to make any changes if you'd like. If you don't, you can simply just hit the X and you can hit save or discard. There's really no difference there as long as you didn't mess around with it. And then you'll see the email pull over here on the right-hand side. So now we're pretty much ready to go. I have this email getting ready to be sent out to this SOI list. If I wanted to see who that was, I could have that list selected and then hit edit. And then that's going to show me all the contacts that I have selected for this list. And then you can either save, you can schedule it. Again, that's pretty much the same thing. You'll choose the date and the time of when you want it to go out. Or you can simply just send right away. Now, when you do that, one of the things, so first off, if you're back under campaigns and you're under the email section, you'll see your email campaigns sent out here. You'll be able to see which ones. And then also the other big piece of this is where you can create your email list. So you can come in and hit email list, and then you can create list, you can manage your list. So that's kind of where you'll do your email list, which is underneath emails in the campaign section. Then the other big piece of it is when you send out these email campaigns, and this is the part that I love about it, is the reporting piece. So if you come down to reports, then there's going to be another email section here. And you'll be able to actually see who it was delivered to, who it was undelivered to. If you want to see who exactly, you just click view details and it'll show you everybody that it was delivered to. So notice that test email I sent out, it's showing right there. It'll also show you who opened it, and if anybody clicked on anything within the email, if anybody replied. When somebody does reply, you'll get a notification in command that somebody replied, but you'll also obviously get that reply email to whatever reply email you had set up on your email campaign. And then anybody that unsubscribes. So I like to use this one, if I hit view details and it's a friend that unsubscribed, I'll give them a little bit of crap and say, why are you unsubscribing me? So ultimately, though, it's pretty straightforward here. The reporting piece, I think, is huge, though, so you can really track, engagement. If you notice some emails are doing better than others, and you can kind of figure out why. Maybe they're just more engaging or better material in there. So ultimately, though, that's about it as far as the campaigns. Now, when you are in this campaign section, you can always manage all of your campaigns through these different tabs here. The paid ads is a lot different looking if you haven't plugged into that in the last 6 to 8 months, I'd say. When you click, and I'll just show that real quick, but when you click on paid ads, it's going to look, there's different videos you can watch, but if you hit quick start, that's going to take you to the new paid ads area. And you'll see all of our different templates and everything. And then a couple pieces to highlight on here. So when you're in this dashboard, these are now all the different types of paid ads we can do. So you notice we do have the ability to do a TikTok ad, although I think that one's a daily limit, minimum of like $25 a day. We have the Google, this is the Google AdWords, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's when people search on Google, there's no images. It's just simply going to be you're trying to filter out keywords that people will search so that your ad pops up the most. It's at the very top. If I was in Google and I said moving company, these are the paid ads or the Google AdWords. So it's sponsored, anything like that. That's kind of what that would be. Now there also is, we have the ability to do the Google ads. Essentially what that is any other platforms that partner with Google. So like YouTube, when you see a Google ad pop up on YouTube, it's typically, that's what the other Google pieces would be here. Now, when you see, there's also Facebook and Instagram. When you see these blue shaded areas, those are automatically including a lead capture form. It uses a Facebook lead form, so it's going to automatically try to capture a first name, last name, phone number, and email. Any of the other ones with this orange is not. So make sure that if you do create an ad like this, you're going to send them to a place that will capture a lead, if that's the point of the ad. But I mean, if you're spending money, ultimately, that's the reason why we're trying to get the leads. So keep that in mind as you're doing that. And then the other piece of it is you'll notice we do have these longer term, which is like the Google AdWords and stuff like that. Those are long term, and they say it takes about 6 months to really get the ad going. And with that being said, it's a minimum of $250 a month. So it is a pretty good chunk of change before you're going to start seeing return on those. Once you do create these, though, you'll be able to find any ads that you've released underneath programs. And then to see how the ad did, you can click on it, and it's going to show you how much you spent, when you started it, what exactly it was, where the status of itself is. And you can see, okay, I had 12 clicks, 814 views. I received 2 leads at $2.92 a lead. And it cost, or I'm sorry, 2 leads at $17.49 a lead, $2.92 per click, and then your CTR percentage as well. And then this is the ad that you released. Obviously, that doesn't seem very enticing. I don't know why I even did an ad of a basement photo like that. Wow. Anyways, so that's where any programs that you've done, that's what your ads are called after you release them. They're called programs. Then you have your assets page and any support as well. So definitely a little different than what the old ads look like, but these are a lot better. I would highly recommend playing around with it. The nice thing is you have the ability to stop it. So if you notice an ad isn't doing well, chances are the algorithm has pushed it down to the bottom of the totem pole. So you can stop it, figure out what you did wrong or how you can make it better, and then recreate a new one and send that off. So again, there's training videos here on those ads, or, obviously if you want to ever plug into that, just let me know and we can do a one-on-one meeting. All right. I think that's about all I had for today. So I guess that leads me into any other questions outside of this, or if there were any questions that came up through this as well.
Chris, I have a question outside of this.
Mhm.
I tried to set up appointment with you, but the calendar wasn't anything available until I think next week or the next 2 weeks, something like that. So I figured I can ask you here.
Yeah.
So last time when we had a session together, I created the Google form and the barcode.
Mhm.
And I'm ready to kind of print out my flyers and send it out to my neighborhood. But when I scan the barcode, it does take me to the Google form. However, the requirement like full name, address, stuff like that, doesn't let me add it. It only let me edit the Google form. So I don't know what I did wrong.
Interesting. So my assumption, it's definitely something to do with the Google form itself there.
That's what I
Um,
thought too, because I created two barcodes just in case if the first one it was wrong or something was wrong with it. So the second one was the same thing. It worked. It does take me to the Google form, but when I'm there, instead of letting me answer the question, put my full name and address, it just let me edit it again.
So my assumption then is the URL that we used for that QR code was for the editing piece of it and not for the actual page itself. So what you would want to do is go back to the form itself.
Okay.
And when you click into it, I believe, let's see. So I believe it would be, you would hit the get pre-filled link, which I think we did last time, but maybe we did it wrong. And that should be the one to use.
I'm sorry, do click on which one?
Hit the three dots up here, and then there's
Oh.
get pre-filled link.
Oh yeah.
The other piece of it is if you click on settings right in the top there, you can go down, collect email addresses, verified, send responders a copy, no. Oh, so okay, there's response editing. So you may want to see what your restrictions are as well, because maybe your restrictions aren't set to be open to anyone. Like this says restrict to users in Keller Williams Realty Inc. and its trusted organizations. So for this form, it would only be restricted to them. So that's one of the things that it could be as well as just the restrictions there. But I would try just doing that pre-selected link again and see how that goes.
Okay.
And just
And
create a new QR.
on the response for the Google form, when I go to setting, I think the only thing I collected and changed on that, it says collect email address response will be required to sign into Google, and there's either do not collect or verified or responder input. Right now it's on verified. Is that okay?
Yeah, I think that should be fine.
Okay.
I don't see an issue with that. I think it might have just been the QR code when we were doing it because we were creating it originally. I know when we did it. So I think for you, it would just, now that you have it created and it's ready to go, I would just retry that pre-filled link and see if that
Okay.
works. And if it does, let me know. And I'll do a little research and see if there's something I'm missing there.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Of course. Jamie, I know you had a question.
Yeah, so I'm on, trying to edit my, like
Your website?
my bio on my website. Yep, so I've gone
Did you
there. And then I
upgrade your
click-
website?
What's that?
Did you do your did you upgrade your website?
Well, I think I did.
When you go to consumer, does it say upgrade here or does it say
Yeah.
edit my website?
It says edit my website.
Okay. So you should be good there. Now
Okay.
the bio, I assume, so if I hit that, I assume
Mhm.
you're talking about underneath the agent homepage or
Yeah, so let me back up. So there, if I go about, yeah, if I click there, and then it has those things on the side and it says, if you want to customize, click
it's
here.
tricking you, Jamie. It's tricking you. So this is actually pulling from your marketing profile. So if you
Okay,
want that change, you just need to change it in your marketing profile. And that's where and then typically I've noticed with these news sites, the changes take about 24 hours now.
okay,
But unfortunately, it says, drop down, but then you just have the option to display or hide it. So the
right.
changes for that would not be done in here. That's
Aha.
more so that's all going to be your marketing profile. And that's pretty standard for any of the information that's going to be on your website. We just have the ability now to arrange the website differently and, make it a little more
Got it.
customizable of how it looks.
Got it. Okay, now I just
Um,
got to go back and figure that out. Okay.
yeah, and since I'm here, might as well talk about the website real quick. Because we definitely have a lot of cooler features than we had previously in the sites. Now the homepage one, that one, you do have a lot more customizable features in there. So it's going to be made up of 4 pieces here. So there's the listing search module. Obviously, that's how people can search for a house. You can change what it says for the title. You can change the images. Just be careful that you're not stealing images from someone that's going to come sue you for stealing their image. So that's the first piece of it. Now, if you don't want that at the top, you can rearrange it, you can move it down, you can really do whatever you want with it there. The next piece is going to be your feature or dynamic listings. So dynamic listings, again, you can change the title and the description of what it says, but what it's doing is you're going to put in a center point. You're going to show how many to display. This one you can do. I don't think there's really a max number you can do. But I have mine set to 10. So there's 10 different properties that will always show here. Now, the way it's set up, I have it for is recently updated. So whenever they're recently updated in the MLS, KWLS will recognize that and then throw those listings out as long as they fall within 25 miles of the center point that I chose. The other piece around that is we have the featured listings. So if you have your own listings or if you know someone that you want to feature their listing, you can come in and put listings address specific. And when you put these in, these are going to be the ones that show up first to fill up that 10. And then if you have 3 of them, then it'll choose 7 dynamic listings to fill up total. It'll always be in these groups of 3, but you do have that ability to do your featured listings. So anything that is, brand new, right hot on the market, you can make sure that those are front and center.
When those go, say those close, will they automatically come off of that, or do you have to manually go in and take them off of your like featured listings?
Actually, that's a good question because
You have to take them off.
yeah, this
I
Garrison is closed. So Estrella is right there.
Okay.
yeah, I'm like I looked at my last one because I thought it would just like go away after it had closed. I was like, oh no, that's still on there.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Estrella.
Yeah, sorry. I'm like, yes.
No, I'm thank you for speaking up because I noticed that as she was saying it, I was like, yeah, that one closed a few weeks ago. I need to update that. So again, when you're making these changes on the website, make sure you always hit the save button after you make the changes. You'll see all the edits and stuff. As you're doing this, there's a timeline of revisions and things that will show up on the right-hand side. So if you have someone else working on it, you'll be able to see what they've done. If you're part of a team, you'll be able to see what other team members have done. Or you can just go back and see like, oh, did I remember to do this? And you can see that you've done it. So now the other piece is testimonial page. Another, obviously you can change the title there. Now, one of the things that I like about this is if you already have a bunch of Google testimonials, you can come in here and hit this plus button and you can put them in yourself just by hitting create new. Now, the other piece of that is you can also, if I were to go to my website, there's the testimonial page, leave a review. You can take this link and just forward that to any clients to say, hey, can you leave me a review? And then when they submit it, it'll automatically go to your website. And then you'll have the ability to select which ones you want featured. So if maybe somebody didn't leave a 5-star for you, you can make sure that that one's not showing on your home screen of your website. And then the last piece of this homepage is the buyer's blog, essentially. Now everybody's going to have your standard 4 blog posts, first-time home buyers. You can obviously go in and put in other ones or create your own blog posts, but you can arrange which ones you want to be seen first. So just keep that in mind as well. Now, if we go back to the dashboard, if you wanted to do a quick blog post, you could go ahead and hit blog post right here, and that'll open it up to a blog post creator. There's custom and landing pages now that we did not have the ability to do that we now have the ability again. And then these mortgage and why work with KW. So I don't know if you noticed, but on mine, I have this more, and there's what can I afford? And then there's why Keller Williams. That's what those are. And honestly, you don't have to change anything within it. It's pretty much ready to go. So if you wanted to add this to your site, you would just click on it. It's going to pull open this custom page. Again, you can change what the title is and what you want it to say and whatnot, but ultimately this is what it's going to look like. And it's pretty straightforward. It's a mortgage calculator. If that's what if you're happy with it, you've changed the name or the title, then you would just hit publish. And then that's how it will show up on your website underneath this more section. Again, keep in mind the changes do take sometimes up to 24 hours. So don't expect it to be instantaneous. I've seen it work right away, and I've also seen it take a day. But that's the same thing as far as that mortgage calculator and the why work with Keller Williams. So if we were to click here on why work with Keller Williams, we'll see on the right-hand side, that's that same page there. So just gives them a little tidbit and information of why they should work with you. Now, to get really complex, if you wanted to, you could maybe say, you know what, I don't want mine to sound the same as every other Keller Williams agent that's going to be using this template. So we could copy that, and then we could go to ChatGPT and we could say, rewrite this. And now yours will not sound or look exactly like everybody else's that has the standard basic pages. When you do use ChatGPT, just be careful though. It's obviously still a computer and is not a person. So just double check everything, make sure you're still compliant with, common sense and making sure you're not crossing the line anywhere. But then you could go ahead and copy this and paste it on your website. All right. I think that's it. Jamie, did you have any other questions on sites?
The only thing I'm noticing is that I had thought I had changed my about me, and I did in my profile, like my under my profile, and it still, like, under the website. I know you said it takes 24 hours, but I did this a while back, and in the website it's still the old about me.
Interesting. Now, the only other thing I could think of, if you click on your name, and I don't think this is going to be it. You could try changing it in this about me biography here. That might be another. Oh, you know what? That might be where it is, Jamie. I'm sorry. I might have told you wrong because I have this display my profile on kw.com. So if you go to click your name, you'll click your name and then you'll click my profile.
Yep.
And then do you have the about me here? If you hit edit, can you change that biography?
Yeah, and that's where I've changed it.
Oh, you changed it here.
Yeah, but it's not showing up on my website.
Okay, that's why. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. disregard what I just said. So what
Okay.
you're gonna want to do, click your name in the top right, click settings.
Oops, hold on. Gotta go back.
And then on the left-hand side, you'll hit connect settings and marketing profile. And if you scroll down, there's another bio, and that I'm pretty sure is what's going to be doing your marketing profile.
Okay, my
be
computer
doing your-
is being weird right now, so I can do that. I'll try that.
Yeah, and I am almost guaranteeing that that's going to be it, because
Okay.
this is the piece. As long as your button's toggled here, it says use my information to brand my agent site.
Yeah.
So this bio is
Maybe
what
there.
pulls over for the about the agent.
Okay. Cool. I'll try that.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Of course.
Chris,
Yeah,
I just want to let you know, thank you. That actually worked.
it did work.
Yes.
Okay, good. That means
Yeah,
I don't have
thank
any
you.
more homework. No, thank you for bringing that back up. And honestly, if there's anything else that comes up, please let me know for all of you. I appreciate you all taking time out of your Thursday afternoon, and hopefully you all have a great weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
See you later. Lyndon, you didn't have anything, did you?
No, I'm good, Chris. They figured out my problem, but it was what you told me to do.
All right, all right. Well, that's as long as we got it figured out.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. They were like, "Oh, here, this is what you got to do." I'm like, "I did that 3 days ago," and they're like, "Well, go ahead and do it again." I went into the profile; it was already updated on its own. I'm like, "I'm good."
Technology. One day we'll have it down, but I don't think I'll be alive for that day.
Yeah. Hey, so I was thinking about something today. With Ruth and I being realtors, can I use the same URL name? Like it could be Reynoso's instead of me putting Homes by Lyndon Reynoso, or could I make it like Homes by Reynoso's Realty, something like that? Like, can
Yeah.
she do it and I can do it? We both can have the same URL?
Yeah. Yeah. And I
Oh.
mean, that's the other piece of it too, is if
Yeah, I didn't know
you
that.
wanted to create like a team account within Command, then you could have a team site. And it would have like a meet the team page rather than an about me. It would be meet the team and have both of you and both of your information on there.
I gotta talk to you about that. I don't know if this is the right time. Leslie was talking about that today on a different one, and I asked her why I don't see that team. I didn't want to interrupt her, and I'm like, I'm lost. My command is not showing a team account. I don't know how to
Yeah,
create.
and so you're not gonna see a team account unless if you've had Elizabeth set up one for you on her end, and then she would basically submit that, and then you would see. So like right now, you probably just have your name up here in the top right. But
That's
once
right.
she submits it on her end, or on the MCA's side of things, then you would click this drop down and you would see other accounts and you would see your team account. But you,
Okay.
in order to do that, you have to let Elizabeth know to create that, and you have to let her know what you want the team name to be.
Perfect. Okay, because I want to add Ruth to it. That's
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
what I want to do.
and the team sites are not quite as functional as the single agent sites yet, but they've been heavily plugging into it to get it there, and they are functioning right now to where you can have the meet the team page and at least have a running functioning website for your team. So it's definitely out there. It's all done under the consumer app. You just have to make sure you're underneath your team account when you do it.
Perfect. Okay. I'll
Awesome.
contact her.
Well, let me know if you have any other questions, but she should be able to get that taken care of for you right away.
Thank you. Congratulations with the home.
Hey, thank you, Lyndon. I appreciate that.
You got it.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.